you're someone who's tired of modern day Hollywood and modern day stories, this video is for you. Welcome to A2HEROES, the home of Black Dragon and Pink Firefly, a dark fantasy comedy comic series that refuses to adhere to modern day norms. No wokeism, no girl bosses, no left wing BS, no right wing BS, no feminism, no socialism, no lecturing. This is just storytelling in its purest form, raw, irreverent, and unapologetically entertaining. It's the kind of bold narrative that made the 80s unforgettable with real stakes, complex characters, and zero sacred cows. Right now, modern day pop culture sucks. Movies, TV shows, novels, comic books, and music have all objectively declined in quality over the past 25 years, and it's only getting worse. These graphic novels do the opposite of what most pop culture does today. Here we have long plot lines and character arcs that actually make sense. We have complex, flawed characters who suffer, grow, and change. And with no wokeism or left-wing political correctness or invincible perfect girl boss characters, we don't pander to the left, but we also don't have any right-wing social, political, or religious preaching either. So we don't pander to the right. We're not here to please either a community or either political side. We just want to tell good stories that have actual sex and romance between men and women. So click on the link below to get on our preferred mailing list and to get access to secret live streams. So welcome back, guys. This is another video of A2HEROES, Black Dragon and Pink Firefly. I'm happy you could join us. I went over the About page before and went through all the details and the different things that it contains. The pitch, what Caleb Jones is bringing to you, the vision, what you're going to see when you get it, and the commitments. I've already gone over the commitments in a previous video, but I'll touch on some of them here again today. So, Caleb Jones has a set of commitments that he's put out to you at the onset of his comic book series. These are things that he's going to hold himself to and hold his team to in completing the vision for A2HEROES and Black Dragon and Pink Firefly. So we can see here on this page that all of them are listed in order, showing exactly what you're getting, what you're signing up for when you join this journey. So very quickly, I'll go over them from beginning to end. The first commitment that he makes is canon is sacrosanct. Once a graphic novel is published, the story is canon. The past will never be changed or erased later via retcons, time travel, multiverses, and so on. None of that. The second commitment he makes is a commitment to a male audience. Over the past 15 years, we've watched as Western pop culture has taken properties written for men and made them more compatible for female audience, thus destroying them and making them appeal to no one. Things like Star Wars, Marvel, Doctor Who, and so many others. All right, I'm sure you guys can name some. I've seen some of these myself, like The Witcher, for example, Lord of the Rings, right? All sorts of things that have just been ruined by needless pandering and needless expansion of the fan base. The stories, world, and characters here at A2HEROES are 100% written for men, period. Any complaints or negative comments from women regarding anything related to these stories, and we're gonna get them, will be ignored. All right? Any complaints or negative comments from women regarding anything relating to these stories are going to be ignored. If it's related to something else, then they'll be addressed. But if it's related to the stories, they'll be ignored. Because this entire project, this entire vision has a commitment to a male audience. Okay? Women, we love you, but you're not in our target audience here. So we don't care what you want. There's plenty of pop culture for you. So go over there. This is for guys. I agree. The third commitment that Caleb Jones makes to his audience is death is permanent. When a character dies, they are dead forever. Resurrection magic does not exist in A2HEROES universe. Since these are fantasy stories, we're allowed to show dead characters via methods like visions and flashbacks and undead, etc. Though even that stuff will be at a bare minimum. We're not going to overdo it and keep harping on tired old tropes. But we'll never ever have a dead character who was fully dead in the past return to life in the future. The fourth commitment he makes is customer is paramount over all other factors. I like that. He says you, the customer, are always more important to us than politics, current modern day culture, political correctness, investors, or formats. Our only mission is to make you happy with these stories. Everything else comes second. There's no left-wing wokeism or political correctness here. So the customer is paramount, guys. Like, the number one thing that is guiding the success and future of this entire franchise is the customer. It's you. It's the people who actually buy these comics, who actually engage with this community, who actually enjoy these stories. Not investors, not politicians, not activists, no one else. So I really like that he made that front and center on his page of commitments. That's not something you're going to see anywhere else. So I respect that. That's why I'm doing this. The fifth commitment he makes is no left-wing wokeism or political correctness. Okay? He says modern day culture is completely soaked with wokeism and left-wing values. These take you out of the story and make things confusing. There's absolutely none of that in these stories, and there never will be. So we don't want any left-wing ideology. We don't want any wokeism. We don't want any political correctness that just ruins and drags down the story or just forces the author to make contrived plot lines in order to keep their ideological commitments sound. We don't need you to uphold things that we're not interested in as the viewer, as the audience. So he's making that a promise, a commitment, and a vow to the audience. He wants you to know that when you're getting into this, you're getting to something that's going to be worthwhile and is going to be worth it. So I love that. The sixth commitment he makes here is no right-wing or religious preaching. All right, guys, there's no right-wing or religious preaching. Just as there's no left-wing wokeism or political correctness, there's also no right-wing or religious preaching. All right? To be fair, Caleb Jones says he describes himself as like a minarchist libertarian, and one of the characters in these stories is loosely based on him. So he can't promise that, every once in a while a little libertarianish stuff might slip through. But no one in these stories will preach politics at you, ever. We're here to entertain, not lecture. I like that. He's showing his cards up front and saying, hey, this is where I stand, this is who I am, this is what I bring to the table, but I'm not gonna waterboard or drown you in that stuff. Yeah, it's gonna influence my creative direction and my perspective and artistic license, but it's never gonna be over the top and punitive. So I really like that. After no right-wing or religious preaching, the seventh commitment he makes to us here is no Mary Sue or girl boss characters. Okay? We've had strong female characters in the 1980s, and they were awesome. Characters like Princess Leia, Sarah Connor, Ripley, Marion from Radars, and so forth. There's some strong female characters like those in these stories, but there will never, ever be any Mary Sue or girl boss characters who are amazing at everything, go through no real character growth, and or denigrate men. We're not about that. There's no need to be disrespectful, just respectable. And so I like that he's making that commitment. We're still gonna have strong female characters. We're still gonna have incredible female characters. We're still gonna have lovable female characters. But they're gonna be like Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender, or like Azula, right? Or like Jean Grey, or cool characters that people actually know and love. Not typical Disney BS that we're forced to put up with today. So the eighth commitment that he makes here is a commitment to sensibility. He says everything makes sense. Modern day genre fiction, all right, that's fantasy, sci-fi, or horror, is rife with characters, plots, and settings that make no sense, even within the worlds they present. That's huge. even within the worlds they present, they don't make any sense. They're not internally consistent. I hate reading a story, and I, as the reader, I, as the audience member, can already point out and spot flaws that the author should have caught. Caleb Jones says he's not about that. Right? This is a result of serving political agendas or corporate checklists rather than a priority of telling rich, consistent stories. Every story, setting, and character in the A2 universe makes sense within this world. All right? I'm going to say that again. Every story, setting, and character in the A2HEROES universe makes sense within this world. That's really cool. I like that. That's something that makes me want to buy the comic, makes me want to read the comic, makes me want to keep the comic, because I know that it's an eternal work of art that's going to stand the test of time. I'm not going to look back after I've read it and think, oh, they didn't really do that part well, or oh, that part didn't really make sense. No, everything makes sense. So that's really cool. The ninth commitment he has here on his page is sex and violence. He says, in terms of pop culture, Americans tend to be squeamish about seeing sex and nudity, and Europeans tend to be squeamish about seeing bloody violence. These stories have a lot of both, and they both intensify as the story progresses. Nice. So if you love seeing sex and violence in comic books, you're in the right place. But if seeing sex or violence in comic books bothers or offends you, then this isn't for you. Fortunately, not really. And he lets you know that up front, so you don't get your hopes up and then get disappointed later. These are mature comic books. They're dark fantasy comic books, and they're gonna be graphic, right? Puts the graphic in graphic novel. It's gonna definitely take a page from like Berserk and things like that. Very cool. The 10th commitment that he has here is non-monogamy. He says these stories predominantly feature several male characters who are dating and are married to and are having sex with multiple women, and it's presented as a good thing for everyone involved. If that bothers or offends you, this isn't for you. Perfect. This is a follow-up from his commitment to a male audience and no religious, right-wing, puritanical preaching. If you're tradcon conservative or like puritanical or really squeamish, then just know up front that these stories might not jive with you. I personally still encourage you to check them out. I think there's something here for everyone, but viewer discretion is advised. Number 11, a no AI pledge. I like this. He said, this world, these stories, the dialogue, the characters, and every other aspect are 100% written by human beings and always will be. The visual designs of every recurring character have been 100% created by myself, that's Caleb Jones, and human artists. No AI will ever be used in the writing of these stories. All right? Some AI is used in the artwork, so please refer to the FAQ for more details. But in terms of the creation and the creative process, the heavy lifting of actually designing a compelling narrative, Caleb Jones has done that entirely by himself. He hasn't left that to just AI to do for him. So I think we're in good hands in terms of that. His 12th commitment is no investors. I really like this. He says, A2HEROES will always be independently owned, and we will never take on any investors. Never. I hope they keep to that, because that's amazing. This maintains quality and commitment to the customer. Exactly. The customer is sacrosanct. The people who buy these stories and buy these books, they're sacrosanct. They're important. They're the ones that we actually want to serve. They are our investors. They are the ones who are the investors. We're not going to go and get outside money in order to try and prop up these stories, because then those people have a say in what is included in these stories. And so I like that from the outset, he already pledged to have no investors, no AI, no outside money, and just full creative control. That's a good idea. That's really good. The 13th commitment, 13th and final, is an admission that says we will make mistakes. All right? It's a small team creating like a massive comic, so there will be some mistakes here and there. It says that we'll do our absolute best to provide you with high quality stories, the likes of which you've never seen before, but we're going to make mistakes from time to time. These are graphic novels with hundreds of pages and thousands of panels of artwork. We have a quality assurance process that we follow rigorously, but some errors are unavoidable. Since you, the customer, are our priority, We will work with you and respect you as long as you don't freak out when mistakes are made. We will always correct mistakes whenever they are found or politely brought to our attention by our customers. Very cool. Very freaking cool. I love that. That's something that really marks him and differentiates him from the arrogant, pompous writers in Hollywood and like all around. Like mistakes will be made in the process, but we the fans, we the customers, we the audience can gently point these things out and have them corrected. So that's really cool. These commitments are sound. These commitments are vibrant. They're very, very, very good. And they're the type of thing I want to see from a modern day story. They're the type of thing that I really want to experience for myself in real time. To see a story just come up from out of nowhere with just a couple people powering the vision, a singular course of action, a singular mission, and nothing but fans being the ones who really took it to the stratosphere. Kind of reminds me of like Invincible and other fan-made or like fan-propelled projects like that. That could be really cool. So he says, you can click here to get on our preferred mailing list, to get access to secret live streams with Caleb that no one else gets, plus get notified of launch dates as well as sneak peeks, pages, artworks, videos that are not available anywhere else. So that's very cool. That's something I'm really looking forward to. So I encourage you guys to do just that. All right, go to the website to get on the preferred mailing list and to get access to secret live streams that no one else can get anywhere else. Click here, click the link on the website. I'm gonna leave it in the description so that you guys can easily access it and go there and give it a view. So it's gonna be amazing. I really want to come back and do more of these. Let me know what you guys want more of in the future, and I'll be so happy to bring you more news on A2 Heroes. Take it easy.